So I'm super excited for today's video. We're going to be focusing on Jacob Woodley. He was a two-time Pennsylvania state champion as well as an All-American at 197 pounds for the University of Oklahoma. He's really good at getting in on extended shots, and where a lot of guys would either give up a go behind or just settle for the stalemate, he's able to consistently score from this position. He does a grip switch to where he goes from grabbing his outside wrist to going to the S grip. He likes to do cutbacks from there. He can cut to a double. There's plenty of different options that I will go over all in this video. This is just the first video that I'm going to be doing on this topic. AJ Ferrari likes using this technique. Zahid Valencia enjoys using this technique a lot as well. And there's some other guy, his last name is Awakarov. I'm going to include him in the video as well. This technique works really, really, really well. This is great to do when you're stuck underneath shots. And let's get into the video. So he's going to take a shot, and he's going to end up on his opponent's right leg. Just saying this now, the main leg that he likes to hit the head inside single on is the left leg. That's when he has his cutback options, his circling option. Also pay attention to his grip. His grip, so his left hand is grabbing the wrist of his right hand. Typically, this is good for him when he's attacking the left leg because it is a good practice for your inside arm to be grabbing the wrist of your outside arm. However, he also does this even when he attacks the opponent's right leg. So because of this, he's going to hit a grip switch. So he's going to go from this grip to what we call an S grip. And he's always going to get his head to the outside to finish this whenever he attacks the opponent's right leg instead of their left leg. But he's fully extended face on the mat. So you saw here that he switched to S grip. This prevents the opponent from breaking his lock because now they're already fully extended on the sprawl. And because he got his head to the outside, he was able to do that. Also notice his setup. He likes to post on the opponent's forehead, and when they grab his wrist, then he does what he does. So now he's attacking the opponent's left leg, his preferred leg. So he tries to step up with it. He gets it in the air. So he tries to cut off to a double, does not work. Then he's going to switch his grip. Let me rewind it. So you see he's grabbing. His inside hand is grabbing his outside hand wrist, or his outside arm's wrist. Then he's going to switch to an S grip. That almost completely negates his opponent's sprawl. Then he's going to step up with that leg that he's on the same side that he's trying to get his head out of, or out from. Same setup as before, attacking the opponent's left leg. He sits the opponent to his hip without getting his head out. And then from that point, he hooks the leg. He's going to push he's going to get his head out, and that's going to be an easy takedown. I shouldn't say easy takedown. You guys know what I mean. Head inside single once again. So sprawl that on. So he's on the opponent's left leg. So he wants to get his head out by their right hip. So he's going to step up with his left leg in order to sit their person back. In this example, he cut to a double. Pulsing the forehead, does that a lot. Just a nice little bonus for you guys to pay attention to. That's a pretty good setup for offense. So he can't cut back because his ear isn't on the opposite side of the body. So then he ends up, when the opponents adjust their weight, he just circles. So after they try to adjust their weight to defend against the cutback, they set themselves up for him to just do a basic circle behind. Again, left leg, he's going to have an S grip. Gets his head out on that side, and he steps up with that same side foot that he's trying to get his head out from. And just sits the opponent on their hip. Him against multiple-time All-American Eric Schultz. You guys can see here that his inside hand is grabbing the wrist of his outside hand, which allows him to post. And then he's just going to send him to his hip without getting his head out, just like he did on the other one. He only does a few things, but he does them consistently. And he still has multiple options. I would consider it a series. So you guys saw that. Let me rewind it. So he attacks the leg. The wrist, the inside wrist is grabbing his outside wrist right here. but then watch it switch into an S grip. That's very important because his opponent is fully sprawled out. If he was able to keep his opponent's leg bent, that's when he keeps the grip of his wrist, his hand holding his opposite hand's wrist or his opposite arm's wrist. I keep saying hand's wrist. And it's on the wrist, so it's partly on the hand, partly on the forearm. So if he's able to keep the leg bent, he would do that to try to stand them up or circle behind. But if the opponent is fully sprawled out, besides having his grip break completely and then putting himself at risk of counter offense, which this is what most wrestlers do, he switches to an S grip, which allows his arm to be fully extended while keeping him in good position. So he gets his head out, tries to do a cut back, does not work, and then he just does it again. Gets his head out, steps up with that foot. So he felt one cut back, just went right back to it. This is Cam Caffey. He's most known for the year that Max Dean won his national title with Penn State. He was the only guy to beat him that season. That's what he's most known for. But he's pretty good at defending legs. Very flexible, very athletic. So he's going to stand him up, and then he's going to end up getting the takedown. Once he's on the leg, he's just like a dog on the bone. He's very dedicated to getting that takedown. He doesn't give up takedowns easily.
Quite the task to try and take on this two-time NCAA qualifier.
Left leg.
Nice reshot by Woodley.
Pay attention to that grip. His left hand is grabbing his right wrist, which is better when he's on his opponent's left leg. So this allows him to post his right hand and circle. This clip is a little bit choppy. It's not your video. So he's going to try to cut to a double. That does not work. And then with his head still trapped, he's going to send him to his hip. Scoop the leg and get his head out. Similar to two clips that we showed prior to this. So that's the third time we've seen him use that specific technique. Posting the forehead. Head inside single.
And there's a single leg. Woodley gets through Padolla's defenses. He's got to
set that leg up, send him back to the hip.
Now he switches to a double and they go to the back. That's two.
So he did the cut back motion and then cut to a double. Second time he done that. Now pay attention now. He's grabbing the opponent's right leg now. So notice that he goes to that S grip. Gets his head to the outside, and he's going to finish a different way. Remember, whenever you attack that right leg, now if you want to put in the work to be able to be super proficient at both sides of the body with the same techniques, you can, but typically it just comes more natural to you to use certain techniques to one leg and other techniques to the other leg. But he's still very good at attacking both sides of the body. He just has different ways to finish the attacks. This is him versus eventual All-American Jacob Cardenas. This clip is, now you can see, let me rewind it. The next two clips are going to be the exact same. So he's extended. He's going to try to do a cutback so he get his head out on his opponent opposite side of the hip of the side he has the leg on. He's going to step up with that same side leg. So in that case, he's attacking the left leg. So his left leg is also going to step up. Jacob Cardenas has amazing hips, so he stands up with him. And Cardenas, so he ends up with just a single leg in the air. Because Cardenas didn't just let him just send him back to his hip. Same thing with this wrestler that he's wrestling here. Great athlete. Head completely stuffed. Going to get his head to the opposite side. Step up. The opponent is going to stand up with it. So now he just has a single leg in the air. Against better athletes, they can typically make this type of adjustment once you try to do the cutback instead of just going to their hip or their butt. But you can still finish it no problem. Him against All-American Rocky Elam. As you can see here, his inside hand grabbing his outside arm wrist. That allows him to post and circle. Rocky's leg gets a little bit too close trying to defend, and he cuts to a double. Haven't shown too many examples of that, but he has multiple of that. which adds an extra layer to it. Because if you defend one of his options too much, because he has so many different ways to finish, you are typically setting yourself up for another option for him to finish with. This is him against All-American Pat Brucky. Watch that grip change because he's on the right leg. So remember, he's going to always go to that S grip. When he's on the right leg, his head gets to the outside, and that way he's allowed to cut to the double leg. He's very consistent, very consistent. Same thing here. So, as you can see here, he has his left arm grabbing his right wrist, but he is on the right leg, not the left leg. So this isn't super advantageous for him. So he's just going to end up hitting a grip switch and go to the S grip. This pretty much negates Pat Brucky's sprawl. So you can see here he's pushing against his knees. He's trying to get his hips back to break his grip. But once he utilizes that S grip, it's very easy to keep his hands locked, which keeps him in pretty good position. So because he's on that leg, he's going to get his head to the outside in order to finish this takedown. Head to the outside, now he just cuts to a double. And this is against the 4 seed, guys. So the same, this is against the 4 seed Pat Brucky. I mean, Pat Brucky was a very big 197 pounder, very strong. Posting the forehead, head inside single. So the opponent tries to defend, and his way to defend it is getting his leg up, and that just allows Woodley to cut to the double. So the cutback and the circling aren't the only two options, guys. Remember, he also did this against two-time All-American Rocky Elam. So the leg comes too close, and he just double legging. Same setup, posting the forehead. Gets his hands locked, has that S grip. Fully extended. Tries to do a cutback. Doesn't work, but he's going to end up going back to the double. And then elevate him. Take him down to the mat. S grip for the head inside single. You know, he had a decent amount of room. Probably could have kept that leg bent, but decided not to. Gets his head out on the opposite side. Step up with that leg. Hit a cut back into a double leg. And this is him against Michael Beard in the quarterfinals. So obviously, guys, in the quarterfinals of the NCAAs, if you win this match, you are automatically an All-American because you make it to the semifinals. The lowest place you can get is 6th place. And this is also the tournament where Michael Beard became an All-American. So this is a battle between two All-American guys. And Michael Beard, very good 197-pounder. So Jacob Woodley tries to do something different. Besides keeping his hands locked, he tries to use one of his hands to post to go back door. Doesn't work out too well for him. Michael Beard has great hips. So now his hands aren't locked like they usually are. So he's in bad position compared to what he's used to. But look at this grit right here. Fully sprawled out on. He's just going to keep driving. Completely stands Michael Beard up to his feet. Then he's going to elevate him and get the 2 points. So notice his grip right here. Left hand grabbing his right wrist. In this case, it's the inside hand grabbing the outside wrist, which is the preferable position. Michael Beard is pushing against his knees. He's doing everything right. So he can't step up with that leg to hit a cutback or anything. But he's just going to end up hitting a grip switch. So he transfers to the S grip. He still gets his head out, steps up with his left leg, and gets the 2 points. Last clip. Notice that grip switch. Gets his head out, tries to do a cutback. So he shows the cutback, right? So notice what he does. He gets his head out on that side, and he steps up with it. But his opponent is actually going to use his forearm to move Woodley's head to the opposite side of the body, which negates the cutback. So no problem. Woodley just going to use his reaction to go instantly go into circling behind. We don't care how we get 2 points, guys, as long as we get 2 points. As long as we get the takedown. I shouldn't say 2 points because obviously in college now it's going to be 3 points. So he's extended, but he has that S grip. That S grip is super, super nice. So he's going to stand up with him. Just cut to a double. So thank you guys for staying all the way through the entire video. Everything I post, or most of what I post, is about increasing your offensive output. And if you have the confidence that even if I take a bad shot and my entry isn't the best, as long as I can get my hands locked together, and this is a lot easier to get because you have more distance than trying to grab your own wrist or anything like that. And as they're sprawling and pushing them back on the knees and sliding backwards, you can keep this grip. It almost completely negates the sprawl. If you get good at this, you just keep shooting, keep shooting, keep shooting. And then you watch my other videos where even if you don't get to the leg, they get you in the front headlock. You can short drag, you can dunk. I mean, there's just so many different options that you want just in case you don't get the shot. But then you watch my videos about advanced leg attacks and different entries and your timing. Then you're going to be a beast when it comes to attacking legs. So see you guys in the next video.